Hi guys, it's Alfie back again with another video. Wow. I don't know how to sum that up in words. I feel like every video I can't sum up for words because every game we're getting so lucky, but we don't give a shit. It's a 1-0 Everton win. We got the 3 points, top four, baby. What are you saying about that, Aidan?
I mean, we look at the likes of Leicester, teams like that, a challenge with top four, West Ham. Teams are getting lucky here and there, and it's about time that we did,
Yeah.
getting lucky near the end with their goal that got ruled out. Me and Alfie were absolutely fuming on the live, and then when it got ruled out, we were obviously over the moon. Obviously, looking at it, the performance was absolutely poor on our behalf. We still had I know we didn't have the likes of Hammers on the pitch to do creativity and stuff like that, but we still have the class to be able to put on a performance. And it was a poor performance all in all, really.
It was quite shy to be fair, but listen, all that matters was the 3 points, and that's what I've been saying from day one. And yeah, our performance, I thought the players, it it was awful, wasn't it, Aidan? Like we were so slow, weren't we?
Yeah, it was.
Attacking by the bar lines, even through the middle. I said to you specifically, we need to play through the middle now because out wide it's not working at all. But we got it. We got the goal with a Richie header. Wow, that lad is on fire, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. Me and you were saying, after Richarlison scored against Liverpool, his confidence is going to be through the roof. And since then, that game, he's been scoring goals for fun. It's been really good for him. I'm glad that he scored. Personally, I thought we were really sloppy throughout the whole game. I think we were sort of playing like we were under Marco Silva, because the midfield were getting the ball and then we were just playing backwards and backwards and backwards loads and loads of times. I think it was good that we brought Sigurdsson on. It was quite funny actually because Digne was on the corner, wasn't he? And then Sigurdsson was
Yeah,
like, no, I'm going to take it. And then he whips it in and obviously lands on Richarlison's head. I think you got to get fortunate with stuff like with that. We were fortunate with the VAR decision. Luckily that we had VAR today. I think it would have been a different game personally if Hammers was on the pitch. On the pitch, it would have been a total different game. We know what class he brings to the team. We were lacking creativity. We thought maybe Carlo thought that Bernard was going to have a better game. He didn't have a great game, did he?
yeah,
And Siggy obviously comes on and does what he does best, getting the
he
assist.
does, mate. So we'll do the player ratings now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give Pickford a 7. Well, I'm gonna give him an 8. Because he had loads to do in that game. If I'm being honest, I thought West Brom was pressuring him. Like I didn't think West Brom personally be attacking like as much as that. And yeah, I thought Pickford made an excellent save right at the start, and I thought like it's another clean sheet for Pickford. That's what we've got to say.
Yeah.
Yes, I know we got lucky with the VAR. Well, it wasn't really lucky because it was a foot offside. Let's be realistic here, but Pickford, he's England's number one for the start, and he's proven it. 3 clean sheets in a row. And what you're saying about Pickford and what you're rating him, I'm rating him in solid 8.
To be fair as well, he didn't look 100%. Like he wasn't 110%, was he today? Let's be honest with you, because of
Yeah,
his injury. And going off that performance, it didn't even look like he was injured. He was class today. We've seen it in the opening few minutes with that great save. I'm gonna give him a solid 7.5. I'm in the middle a little bit. Obviously the goal went in, but it was disallowed. I don't think he really could have done anything about that.
no.
I'm gonna give him a solid 7.5. No, go on. We'll give him an 8 because obviously that was a great save in the first
And he
half.
kept a clean sheet, so you've
Yeah,
got
and
to
he kept
go.
another clean sheet, which we love
Yeah,
to see.
definitely. So we'll go on to the defenders now. Left back Lucas Dean. Um, I'm gonna give him a 7 because he was whipping balls in. Don't get me wrong, and West Brom defended them really well. But I thought he wasn't at his A game in a way. What do you reckon?
Well, let's be honest. Not many of the players. There's only really a handful of players that we can really say were probably good
Or
today.
more awful, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Digne was decent at times. There was little spells where he was creating chances. But there was times where he wasn't. Sometimes. Um, I think there's not going to be many 8s other than Pickford and stuff like that. Personally, I
Defo.
think I'm going to give him a 6 as well as you. I think he wasn't really on his A game. I think you could tell a few times. So yeah, I'd probably give him a 6 or a 7.
Definitely. Ben Godfrey, centre half. I thought he played out good game, to be fair, but at the
Yeah.
end, I think he was losing his concentration, in my opinion, and I'll give him a 7. I thought a 7.5 maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah. What's your thoughts?
In the first half, I thought he was absolutely boss. You know, we seen him. I think it was late on in the first half, maybe in the 30th or something minute. He was running at defenders. He wasn't asked at all. You know, even though he's a centre back, he's got mad pace. He's
Yeah.
unbelievable. He's hard to tackle, and he took the shot, and it was unlucky to be fair for a corner. But he has that desire to try and win the game for the team.
And he carries the ball forward. He tries.
He was
doesn't
good. He was solid at the back. Maybe last few minutes or so, there's a few little mistakes here and there, but I'm not really bothered about that. I'm going to give him a solid 7. I thought he had a decent game. He's a part of the handful where I thought, you know what, he had a good game.
I'm going to give Michael Keane the same rating. I'm going to give him a
Yeah.
7.5, because the partnership out of those two, you see, when Ben Godfrey giving the ball away, Michael Keane's always there to recover and pounce on it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm going to give them the same rating because they really helped each other tonight. And I thought if Yerry Mina was on the pitch, I think he wouldn't have done much cop. I think that's our new centre-half partner now.
Yeah,
because they're both
do too.
English, and I think Ben Godfrey is the one to drive up the field.
Yeah, for sure. Michael Keane, I thought was also, you know, solid with Godfrey. You know, both the partnerships going really well at the moment. It's like I remember it as back in the olden days with Phil Jagielka. Michael Keane reminds me a little bit of Phil Jagielka. That leadership. Michael Keane's a very good leader, in my opinion. I thought he was solid today again. You know, if Godfrey made a mistake, Keane was there to clear it up. If Keane made his mistake, Godfrey was there to clean it up. Keane was, I think, Keane leads the defence as well. I think he's very good, very well organised. I think he was quite organised today. There was a few little, I'll be honest with you, there was a few little things with like their goal was ruled out. I don't think it was Michael Keane's initial fault.
Yeah.
But obviously with that part, there was a few little miss things in there. I'm still going to give him a 7 though. I thought he still had a good game.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he did a job and all. Them two, like I say, them two together.
Yeah.
I think that's our new partnership. Because don't get me wrong, yes, before the derby, we didn't win a game without Yerry Mina. But if I'm Yerry Mina, I'll be worrying now for getting that centre-half spot. So, yeah, for right back, it's Mason Holgate, isn't it? So, I'm a bit mixed on this one because I thought he wasn't really in the game, was he? I thought I'll give him a 6.5. I think that's a bit, you know, I think it's more I think it's more realistic for him. I thought he wasn't really in the game. You know what? I think he was like Alex Iwobi and Andre. I thought he didn't really have a good game. So I'm going to give him a 6.5, 6.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from there. He wasn't really in the game much. I'll be honest with you. The ball was mainly down that side with Digne. Holgate wasn't getting much of the ball, but when he did get on the ball, don't get me wrong. His defending was good, to be fair, but going forward it wasn't great. You know, he was on the ball, he was whipping balls in, but they weren't good enough balls. Do you know what I mean? Going into the box.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a right back nowadays, it's also about the attacking side of it as well. I do think if he wants to be a right back for our club and number one right back, maybe, we don't know. I think he has got to work a bit on his more attacking wise. Don't get me wrong, he's decent in the box, but for whipping in balls and stuff like that, he needs to work on that a bit. I'm gonna give him a 6. I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, boss. Cheers, Kieran, for popping on. Much appreciated. We'll get into the live comments in a second. Who's next? Andre Gomez. I'm gonna give him a 6 or maybe 5.5. I thought he was awful today. Yeah, he did have some spirit of goodness from him. I thought he was spraying the ball. But I've seen more mistakes from him today, and he wasn't like the Andre we know and love from the Southampton game and the Leeds game. So, what's your thoughts about Andre from tonight?
Well, before going into this game, obviously Andre came in for the Wolves game, and ever since that Wolves game away from home, he's been class. But tonight he was poor. I thought he was quite sloppy in the midfield. We were losing the ball in the midfield quite cheaply from him, and it was causing a lot of danger. We were lucky that we were playing a poor West Brom team. If Andre was playing like that against a half decent team, I think it would have maybe cost us a few times. So I did think he was quite sloppy. His defensive work wasn't the best either, even being honest with you. So I'm going to give him a 5.
5. That's fair enough, you know. I thought it was quite nice, you know. Who's next then? Decore. He came off, didn't he? Decore, I thought he had the same game, if I'm being honest. I thought at the start he was looking dead lively, in my opinion, but with Andre being next to him, and I knew Alan wouldn't start this game. I said that on Kieran's stream, Alan will not start, and guess what? He did not start. And I think maybe the Andre and Decore combination doesn't work, if you know what I mean. Because, Decore's box to box, but I think basically they haven't got like an Alan in the midfield next to Decore, because Alan makes a real shift in defence and all, doesn't he? So I'm going to give, who is it?
Decore,
like a 6. I keep on forgetting because most of the players are shy, so I keep on forgetting. Like a 6 or 5.5, or you know what? I'm going to give him a 5. He was the shittest player on the pitch.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's because of the run of games he's been having. I know he's been playing a lot of games recently for Everton, but he's still getting the breaks in. I thought he was poor as well alongside Andre. Both of them in midfield were poor together. I don't know if it's the partnership or what, because when Decore goes forward, Andre's there and there's no ground covering back. Andre's not the quickest to get back in either. Maybe is that because maybe Decore's suited better with Tom and
I totally agree with Aidan there.
Sorry, lad. Sorry.
What's up?
Sorry, my dad came in. What was the saying again? Oh yeah, maybe
about
it's
Andre.
Oh yeah, maybe it's the partnership. Maybe that Decore works better with Tom and Alan other than Andre, because Andre doesn't really cover the ground as much. Andre's all right going forward, but defending wise, he's not great. There's always a foul in them, to be honest. So I'd give
Definitely, I agree with you.
I'd give sorry.
Go on.
I'd probably give Decore. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to give him a 5. I was thinking about 5.5, but I think he was just as good as Gomez. So I'm going to give them both a 5 in midfield. It's poor today from both of them in midfield. I'll give them both a 5.
We'll move on to Bernard then. Honestly, I think people underestimate him, and I think he gets a load of negativity from our fans. Personally, I think he's a decent little player to have in the squad. I thought he was... I think he was good when we started attacking. I thought he was spraying balls. But the thing is, he isn't that type of person to make a through ball, if you know what I mean, like a Gylfi Sigurdsson, like a James. That's not his nature. His nature is to cross the ball in. And it was hard for him because the West Brom defenders were dealing with crosses. I'm going to give him a 6 because he tried his best today.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. We know what West Brom are like. They're a very physical side, and we know what Bernard's like. Bernard's not obviously the most physical player. Now, personally, I'm not sure about Bernard playing in the middle. Don't get me wrong, he's decent against, in the cup games and stuff like that. But personally, I don't think he's playing central through the middle. It's very physical down that end. I think he's better on the wing, personally. There was little glimpses where he was all right, but his end product wasn't the best. I'm going to give him a 5.5 today. I don't think he was as bad as Decore and Andre, but I've seen him play better.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen him play better in the blue shirt, to be honest. So 5.5.
Yeah, totally agree. Alex Iwobi, I thought he was the second shittest player on the pitch, in my opinion. I think I didn't see on his Snapchat personally, he didn't have his weight of bits and beans, if I'm being honest. So he needs to eat them up desperately. But I love Alex Iwobi. I love him, but he wasn't his game, wasn't he? I think I'm going to rate him a 5.5. He did try, he megs 2 people, so that's why I'm just going to give him that extra half above Andre. So what's your thoughts?
Don't get me wrong. throughout the season, Iwobi's improved massively. I think all Everton fans up and down the country have noticed that. I think he's been class in the past few games he's played. Obviously, he's not started some. This is he's not started the last few games. This is the first one he's properly started. Don't get me wrong, he's good at beating players, but it was the end product today, in my opinion. That final ball, that's all he was lacking.
The final third, isn't it?
But the
We
final third,
lacked today.
and to be
It
fair
was
though,
awful.
it happened a few
Sloppy.
times. It's okay when it's the one or two times, but it happened a lot.
Quite a lot.
That's why he probably got taken off. So you're gonna see a
You
lot of
kept on mentioning about it.
you're gonna see a lot of fives from me today. I'm gonna give him a 5 as well. Him, Andre, Decore are all in the 5 club for me. So Iwobi gets a 5.
Richie lad. I fucking love the pigeon himself. I love the Brazilian. Oh mate, Richie. First off, he did try and take his shot, but it blocked and it went for the corner. That made nothing out of it. He was definitely in the game because he scored and he made them first off shots. I'm gonna rate Richie a 8 because he got the match winner. So I think him and Pickford are my 2 man of the match contenders. What about you?
I think Richarlison was mainly our only real threat today, if I'm being honest with you. I think when I seen him on the ball, it looked like he was running at defenders. Don't get me wrong, he was trying really hard. He was coming unlucky a few times. Like you said, when he was having shots, he was taking deflections, etc. like that. And I think he got the goal and all. I'm gonna give him a 7.5. I think at times maybe he could have done a little bit better taking on players at times. Only a few times though, not a lot. Not like a few players tonight, but all in all, I think he had a decent game. I think he's like I said, he's just one of the handful that had a decent game tonight. Yeah, I'd probably give Richarlison a 7.5, maybe even an 8. The header was great. It was really good. So yeah, I'd probably give Richarlison like an 8 or a 7.5.
Boss. DCL. I'm going to give DCL a 7. I've got nothing really else to say because first off, obviously, he had a massive chance to make us 1-0 up. I don't know why he didn't take a touch. Yes, Carlo's been saying since the start of the season, no one-touch finishes. But in that position, where you're in between defenders and there's a massive gap where you could make it 1-0, I just don't know why he didn't take a touch, mate. But second half, he was really in the game. And I thought he really helped Richie today, if I'm being honest. I think he helped them more today than the other night against Southampton. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are with Calvert-Lewin. I thought his aerial battles were great today. We know what Kyle Bartley's like. We know what their defence is like. They're big lads, and Calvert-Lewin did well today, getting up there and winning the aerial balls. That alone, I think he did class on. Obviously, it was quite hard for him to get into the game in the first half. He only had a few shots. Obviously, his first shot being that shot when it was right at the keeper. It's sort of understandable, but sort of not at the same time. I know it's your first chance and all. I know this and that, but there's a lot of excuses you can make, but there's a lot of things that you should say. He should have scored that. Personally, I think he should have scored that. It's right down the keeper's, right down the middle, wasn't it? To be honest with you, if it was all he had to do was put it in the corner. Really, like you said, I think he played well in the second half. I think he linked up with Richarlison very well. I think what I've noticed is in today's game, what he's usually not really good at. Well, he's all right at, but today I thought he was quite good actually on the ball as well, taking on players. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was quite good at that. Finding Richarlison. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 6.57. I reckon. So that's it.
6.57.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like actually in the number, so 6.5 at that 0.7 at the end.
No.
But I understand you the whole 7. Yes, I understand. So the substitutions then, Alan. I'm gonna give him a 7. I thought I said in the match watch along he didn't make a really impact of the game. He did try, he did defend really well. I know that. He was defo in the game because he helped the likes of Andre when Decore came off. But I just don't think he was really in the game as much as I know we only had like half an hour, but Alan was very I thought Alan did a job to defend, and he did really well because I know Carlo was worrying about West Brom, and I thought Alan did really well. Like, but I didn't see much to give him more than like 6.5, if you know what I mean.
I think with my score, I've just got to go off the fact that, he came on. He's been injured. He's still trying to find his feet. Obviously, did he come on in his last game? I'm not sure he did.
Oh my God, Timo Werner's just scored for Chelsea. Sorry, but Timo Werner's just scored for Chelsea. 1-0 Chelsea. Wow. Right. Okay. I just want Liverpool to score for it to be a draw, you see. But go ahead. Jesus.
Alan, he's coming off the bench. He's been injured. Well, I think for what he did, what Carlo probably asked him, just do this job, and he did the job. I think he did the job well. Didn't really make any big mistakes. I think he just done his job really, and he didn't lose the ball. He just found the key passes. He was making key tackles as well, which I think was clinical for us. So I'm going to give him a 6, I reckon, because I can't really give him more than that because he wasn't on as long as everyone else.
I just want to say before we talk more about the game, Werner scored, but for checking it if it's whether offside. But Alisson is having a nightmare at the minute. He rushed out, and Timo Werner literally flicked her over his head and finished it. Alisson rushing out of his box again.
Alisson in tough times at the moment.
Rest in pieces. Put that, by the way. I tell you what, it's offside, by the way, so it's still 0-0. But anyway, who else are we missing now? Sigurdsson, he really made an impact of the game. I thought he was really important to get that assist, in my opinion. I thought the subs won us the game, like someone says in the comments. I thought the substitutions was really impactful for the match. I thought Sigurdsson was good. I'll give Sigurdsson a 7.5 because of his impact, what he made for the goal. Who else came on then? Who else was it? Can't remember now.
Joshua King, but we can't really go off Joshua King because he didn't really get much touches on the ball. Because I'm not being funny, wasn't it like the last 10 minutes or so, and they were just coming up, weren't they, West Brom?
I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, we'll give him a 5. Go ahead.
So, any last words? I'll tell you what, I was ranting about Big Sam again. Jesus Christ. And then Joey Essex on their side, you fucking little freak. But anyway, we'll leave that till another video, shall we? So, what's your final thoughts about this game then, Aidan?
Well, everyone says it's a must-win game. Every game's a must-win game now. We want to get the top 4, etc., top 6, whatever. I think today was a big game. Going into it now, if we would have lost this game or got a draw, I think we would have been very disappointed because of the fact that we've got Chelsea coming up next. Chelsea is a very tough place to go. We know that over the past few visits we've had there down the years. Thomas Tuchel, he's playing good football at the moment. But I actually think, looking at this now, going into Chelsea, we play better when we're not on the ball. I mentioned it in the live stream. They're better. They play with the ball, and we did well against Liverpool, so I'm sure we can do well against Chelsea. So, yeah, that's
Definitely.
really my final thoughts.
I'll tell you what, that VAR decision, it was very close, but Liverpool, tell you what, Alisson got lucky there, so it's still 0-0. But other than that, wow, I can't believe we got the 3 points.
Shall we go through the chat and see what people are just saying?
Yeah, let's just see before we move on. Jaden says we're well on the match with Carlos. Hey, come on. Poor performance, but good result is right. Tom Marshall agrees with Pickford 8. Not going to lie, boys, what we should have lost. Exactly. Could have at least got a point, but we were very lucky with the 3. Not sure why Sixton didn't start. So here's Jaden's ratings. Pickford 17, 6.5. Crossing not good, apparently. Keane 8, Godfrey 7.5. Holgate is 7. Gomez a 3. The core 8 is 6. Bernard 6. Iwobi 4. Richie 9 and DCL is 7. Siggy 8. Allen 7.2. 5.5 for Joshua King needs to start more games. I totally agree with you, Jaden. Thomas P. 15 says up the fucking toffees is right. Jacob says When Gomez got the ball, my TV started lagging. That is a class comment by Jacob there. Tom Marshall says Keane played well. He did, mate. Kieran, much love, Kieran. Hopefully I can feature on your channel maybe in the next 2 weeks because I'll be busy. Come on, you Iron, says Miller. London is claret and brew. I don't know, mate, but yeah. Up the toffee, says Jacob, is right. Tom Marshall, finally above the Irons at Merseyside is blue. It's always blue, mate. Don't get me wrong, isn't it, Aidan?
Yeah, for sure.
What else is there? Tom Marshall, definitely. He's Brazilian. It's not really Richie man of the match, is right. My fucking team is right. Rodriguez the ghost. Alan was very effective, says Tom, yeah. Substitutions won us the game today. Carlo got it spot on again. Exactly Everton's own. What do you think about that? Carlo made a spot on then, Aidan. What did you think about Carlo with his tactics?
Well, you do when you look at it. I think, change of formation, bringing Alan on and putting the 3 centre mids in midfield. I think that did change it at times. Gylfi Sigurdsson, it just says, oh, spot on. Gylfi Sigurdsson comes on, he whips in a ball, lands on Richarlison's head. It's the Ancelotti effect, bud. It's just amazing. The team spirit as well. It's unbelievable. We're going into every game. We're going into every game now. It's a great time to be an Everton fan. We're in this era now, under Ancelotti. It's exciting things. And, Ancelotti's only had 1 transfer window and we're 4th right now. He's still gonna be bringing in players in the window. I think there's still room for improvements in some positions, right back, etc. But yeah, we're looking good right now, and I'm really happy.
We're like 9 games unbeaten away. We haven't lost an away game since November 2020, which is mad, isn't it, Aidan? So we'll wrap the video there. Thank you, Aidan, once again for joining me for the
watch mate. No worries.
And player rating / instant match reaction. Big love for Aidan because it's his birthday coming up very shortly. We better sing him happy birthday for the Chelsea game because it's on the Sunday. But other than that, up the fucking toffees.
Come on, you Blues.
Sam. Fuck you.